Okay, there is a frequency opening right now that many people are missing because they're still trying to analyze their way through life. Okay, but today's codes are not logical, they are mystical. And the energy right now inviting you is to remember something that the mind has forgotten, because life was never meant to be survived. Okay, it was meant to be experienced. So I invite you to stay until the end, where I'll bring through my Sasquatch guides message to humanity around these codes coming through right now. And I know for so many of you right now, okay, your nervous system has been trained to be hypervigilant and to we've been trained to overthink and control things. And there's this constant anticipation in the field on an on an individual and a collective level, okay? And it's as if life is something that you must constantly prepare for instead of something you are actually allowed to enjoy, okay? But the field today is bringing something different. Yay. We've got these joy codes. We've got these sweetness codes and restoration codes. And as these frequencies, they've been coming through for a little while, we are more easily now integrating them because they're not meant to be forced in. Okay, they are meant to come through a more softened state. And that's the journey we've been on for a little while now together, isn't it? And so this will be easier through allowing yourself to breathe deeper, truly, to slow down, to notice the beauty in your life all around you, to taste life again. And this may sound really simple, but for many people, it actually feels unsafe on a level, because when the system has lived in survival for so long, peace can feel unfamiliar. I mean, true peace, okay? That sweetness and that joy can feel suspicious. The stillness can feel unproductive, okay? And so the body stays braced even when nothing is actually wrong. But today's energy is really beautifully and gently whispering to us that you do not need to hold yourself this tightly anymore. And there is another layer to this that is really important. Many people right now are feeling alone, not just physically, energetically. Okay. Like they're carrying life by themselves, like they are figuring everything out by themselves, like they're holding the weight of existence by themselves, okay? But this is one of the greatest illusions of the human experience, because you were never meant to do this alone, you were not doing this alone. And that sense of separation and isolation, the belief that everything rests on your shoulders, this is a part of the prison consciousness that humanity has collectively inherited. These are slavery codes, and today's codes are asking you to question that prison. Because the moment that you actually remember that you are connected and you are supported and you are a part of something greater, your nervous system can begin to soften in that. And your nervous system is so important in this process, okay? And from that softening, something really beautiful begins to happen. The creator within you starts to awaken again. Okay? Not the version of creation that comes from force, not manifestation through obsession and control, but creation through coherence, through openness and trust, and through relationship with the mystery itself. And so this is the deeper invitation for today, is to move out of logic long enough to let the mystery speak to you again. Because that part of you, the divine feminine within you, is literally a master of the unknown, of the mystery. So, on a deeper level, you know how to do this, you know how to navigate this. Because the mind will want guarantees, but your soul wants this experience, okay? Your soul wants wonder and connection and beauty and awe. And some of you have become so mentally focused on trying to work life out that you've stopped letting life enchant you. But the mystery is still here. In the breeze and in the timing and in the unexpected messages, in the feelings that you can't explain, and in the tiny moments that suddenly changes everything. And so the more that you can soften today, the more you may notice life trying to love you back. And so if you feel called, today's not about forcing, okay? It is the day to maybe walk a little slower, breathe a little deeper, let beauty in to your awareness. Stop over explaining everything and trust what you feel. And remember that the universe is not separate from you. You are not abandoned in this experience. You are co-creating it, okay? And the prison door that you've been staring at may not actually be locked at all. Okay, so we're going to bring through Cosmo's message in just a moment. If you have been feeling trapped in mental loops lately, like your mind just will not let you soften, okay, or you can feel how exhausted your system is from constantly trying to hold everything together. This is exactly the kind of thing I work with inside of my mental defrag sessions, and they're really designed to help you clear and reorganize that mental noise, clear the looping, and bring your system back into coherence and clarity. Okay, so if your body feels, if your soul feels a yes to that, I've left the details for you below. And so let's bring through Cosmo's message here. Okay, so he says humanity has been in what has felt like a holding pattern for some time. There is a pensiveness. There is a sense of what now, what next, how much longer can I hold on? This is not the energy of a creator. And these are the incorrect questions, although we understand your frustrations. As old souls, you have been bearing witness to the war, to the trauma, to the atrocities against not just humans, but all beings. For these wars extended and, in fact, originated in the stars, where many of you originate from. Your human body remembers the lifetimes and timelines of your other bodies and incarnations. But we together, in all races and places, have been clearing these scars and karma on a multidimensional level, both individually and collectively on and off planet. It's been huge, especially over the last 12 months. It's been a lot, but also for the greater good, as was soul contracted before your incarnation. You knew this would be the lifetime of all lifetimes as a human, and as difficult as it may seem, it is also a very exciting time. As this time, we are officially crossing the threshold together. Something we have all been waiting and holding space for an extremely long time. So many of you were here for the original project, the near golden age fulfillments, the extinctions, and you bravely chose to come back again because on a soul level, you understand the importance of the current collective mission on a galactic scale. Now, back to your original question. I was asking about the collective energies. He said, we invite you to get out of analysis paralysis and the constant questioning, what is next? What if? When will? Okay. And connect in with the child God within your soul. Come back into childlike wonderment and the mystery. You don't have to figure everything out. You've become so serious. Take your hands off the steering wheel, try it. For when you release control, you allow us and God to catch you. Now, isn't that a lighter way to live? And what he was mentioning about that was, and he talks about this a lot, is this energy of simplifying. And again, that doesn't mean like giving everything up and going to live in a cabin in the woods. It might be. It might be for you. But consciously simplifying, is there shit, okay, that weight in your life that actually does not need to be there? Are you scrolling? And I'm not going to say scrolling's a bad thing. I know we call it doom scrolling, but actually I get a lot of joy out of scrolling because I scroll like, funny cat videos. So it's really about what are we letting into our field of our awareness? It's that sort of vibe, especially when we're looking at simplifying. Also, so really getting out of comparing yourself to other people. They say comparison is the thief of joy. It 100% is, especially if you're an empath and you take on all those energies and frequencies. Also, for example, like me in human design, all of my centers are open from here down. That is huge, okay? Because that is literally absorbing. So really consciously deconditioning those energy centers. If you're not sure what I'm talking about and you'd like to know more about human design, you can reach out to me and book in a human design reading. So that's a really big one, not comparing yourself to others, especially if you energetically are connecting in with everyone, because what happens there is, he was saying, we then take on their soul desires. Let's say, this is the example, a millionaire, and maybe you're following her on a social media platform, and maybe she is young and beautiful and got that luxurious life, and then you start taking on into your own operating system, success is supposed to look like that. So if my life doesn't look like that, then I am not successful. It's setting ourselves up for failure when we do that, because there is a quiet corner of the internet, I'm so passionate about this, where you can be living the most beautiful, abundant, peaceful life where all of your needs are met, and it looks totally different to what you're seeing on the internet, because it gets to be your way, okay? And he said, you will never feel satisfied or fulfilled when you do that. So the biggest key there is being intentional with who you're allowing into your field when you are scrolling. And even asking yourself, what is it I desire? What does success actually look for me? Maybe it is selling up and buying an RV. Whatever it is for you, it gets to be that for you. So I trust that this message served you today. Links and details will be below in the description. And I'll see you next week. Mwah.